G'day and thanks for watching the latest episode of our YouTube travel series. And this one is a cracker as we take you to Melbourne and tick off 10 fabulous things to do on a first visit to the Victorian capital. I'm Aussie travel writer Adam Ford, and in this video we'll circle the city on the famous number 35 tourist tram. Get amongst the laneways and arcades that crisscross the CBD. Go behind the scenes at the epic Melbourne Cricket Ground. Seek out some of the city's best boutique bars. Hitch a ride on the historic Puffing Billy. And much more. The clocks are ticking, so let's get this party started. But first, take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing travel ideas. First things first, and getting around Melbourne couldn't be easier, thanks to the city's extensive tram network. Now, one of the trams that's going to be of the most interest to visitors is the number 35, which does a loop around the city with stops at most of the key attractions. Commentary is provided, which is fantastic. And of course, what I love about it is that the classic W-class trams operate on that route, built between 1920 and roughly 1950. They're absolutely packed with character. Now, all I need is one to come along. And hey presto, we're off. More than 750 W-class trams were built here in Melbourne, but today only a small fleet remains in service. Nevertheless, the veteran vehicles continue to play a role in keeping the city on the move. Stay on for the full loop or hop on and off as often as you like. Now, I love a hotel with a history, and thanks to our good friends at TFE Hotels, we're staying at the incomparable Rendezvous Hotel Melbourne, which is centrally located and packed with period character. That said, no expense has been spared keeping up with 21st century standards. In this hotel, it's not hard to travel back in time to the days of the Commercial Travellers Association, which constructed this former club for its members. It's one of the finest examples of Edwardian Baroque style in Melbourne and remains a bastion of exceptional hospitality. Melbourne may look like your typical concrete jungle at first glance, but you'll soon discover it's anything but. The CBD's network of characterful laneways and arcades are home to popping street art, independent galleries, and buzzing cafes and eateries. Dial up some 19th century glamour in the Block Arcade. This architectural gem has plenty of gorgeous period touches, as does the charming Royal Arcade. I caught up with Amanda at Chocoholic Tours to find out more about this arcade and its sweetest stall.
So Royal Arcade is the oldest arcade in Melbourne. The architecture in here is absolutely beautiful and it's been around since the late 1800s. It was originally sold for £20 English, which I think is amazing. It's obviously worth an awful lot more than that now. And of course, one of the beautiful things in the Royal Arcade is Cocoa Blacks, which is just behind us. And Cocoa Blacks is a Melbourne-based chocolate company. This particular store here is their flagship store. The thing that I love about this Cocoa Blacks, because it's the original one, it's got all of that beautiful European styling, all of the dark woods and all of the architecture inside, give it that lovely European feel.
You've no doubt heard of Hosier Lane, an ever-evolving street art gallery that's probably the most Instagram spot in Melbourne. Melbourne's laneways are also home to some seriously amazing eateries, and the Foodie's Bucket List walking tour with This Is Melbourne is a must-do. On the day of our tour, we visited the city's go-to tapas bar, Movida next door in Hosier Lane. Very cool. And Lucy Lou, a modern Asian fusion eatery in Oliver Lane, which serves up shared plates, pumping tunes and good vibes. You can't go wrong here. Now, Melbourne offers visitors an almost unending list of museums and galleries to choose from. You've got, of course, the very prestigious National Gallery of Victoria, the Melbourne Museum, the Royal Exhibition Building, the Immigration Museum, and the list goes on. I'm visiting the State Library of Victoria, which combines history and culture under one very historic roof. Make your first stop at the library, the stunning domed reading room, which dates back to the early 20th century and was designed based on Bentham's panopticon, a type of prison system which allowed a librarian on the central dais to see the entire room in a single sweep and shush noisy patrons as needed. Bookworms aside, art lovers will also love their visit to the library, as will history buffs. Don't miss seeing bushranger Ned Kelly's famous homemade armour, which was fashioned from parts of farming ploughs. Time for a change of pace and a leisurely cruise on the Yarra River with Melbourne River Cruises. The Yarra rises on Mount Borbor in Yarra Ranges National Park before flowing more than 250 kilometres to Port Phillip Bay. It cuts a path straight through the city and offers a unique perspective of the CBD, South Bank and the Sports and Entertainment Precinct, home to the mighty Melbourne Cricket Ground. Speaking of which, you know, the MCG is so much more than just a sporting venue, a world-famous one at that. It's really part of the history of this city. Stories like during World War II, when the ground and Yarra Park were home to more than 200,000 service personnel. Just amazing. And it's stories like that that you're going to hear on the behind-the-scenes tour with the Melbourne Cricket Club.
I'm one of the tour guides from the MCG. There's some 200 to 300 tour guides, and there's also people in the Sports Museum that volunteer to take people around the ground. Well, we spend about an hour on the tour. We start out the front looking at the ground, but then we make our way down to ground level, and then they get right on to the artificial surface around the ground. We go into the change rooms. Then we make our way up to the fourth level where you get a different perspective of the ground. We have a look at the skyline of Melbourne, and we just explain why Melbourne is the sports capital of the world. And we've got a stadium like this 15 minutes from the heart of the city, Marvel Stadium at the other end of town, about the same distance. We've got the tennis centre, we've got Amy Park, and it's just quite an impressive site.
Having seen the city from ground level, it's time to get a bird's eye view. Head for Melbourne Skydeck, which is located on level 88 of the Eureka Tower in South Bank. This is the highest public observation deck in the Southern Hemisphere. And while the weather wasn't all that flash on the day of our visit, every cloudy day has a silver lining, a stunning sunset. Melbourne by day is amazing, but Melbourne by night is electric. The city has an incredible boutique bar scene, and many of the best venues are tucked away in those aforementioned laneways. So dive in and see where the night takes you. If you're looking for a great spot to eat and drink, check out Seamstress on Lonsdale Street. It has an Asian fusion restaurant and an awesome cocktail bar, which channels the building's past life as a textile factory. From there, head to the popular Berlin Bar, a fun take on the divided city of Berlin during the Cold War era. Alrighty, now you are spoilt for choice for great day trip destinations from Melbourne. There is literally something in every direction. We're talking the Great Ocean Road, the Penguins, the Grampians, the Macedon Ranges, and the list goes on. Well, I've chosen a day tour that combines a little bit of the spectacular Yarra Valley with one of the city's top heritage attractions. Take a look. Tucked away in the stunning Dandenong Ranges, Puffing Billy has been operating as a tourist rail service since the 1960s. We're travelling with Go West Tours on their Puffing Billy and Redwoods Discovery Tour from Melbourne. With our guide Alex at the wheel and hotel pickups out of the way, we head east towards the Ranges and Belgrave railway station.
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm a tour guide with Go West.
And tell us where we are.
We're at Puffing Billy.
Tell us a bit about the train, if you would.
So this train has been running since the mid-1800s. It was originally a train used to transport goods such as timber. Unfortunately, they were logging in this beautiful rainforest. Then they used it to transport goods like vegetables, potatoes, and eventually it was used as a passenger train for all of these lovely little villages up here.
And what can people expect on a trip on Puffing Billy with Go West?
To have lots of fun, stick your legs out the window, feel the breeze, smell the beautiful rainforest, see some wildlife. Also hear the whistle of the train, hopefully see the train on the corners if you're not sitting too far back.
What do you love about Puffing Billy?
What I love about it, well, I used to come up here as a child. It's a good mix of history and just lots of joy. Every single person who sees the Puffing Billy train pass is always waving. It involves everyone. It's a lot of fun.
But that's just part one of this experience. Our lunch stop is the quaint riverside town of Warburton, and here there's a country bakery sausage roll with my name on it. Now, I mentioned Redwoods earlier, and yes, I'm talking the towering Californian variety. I had no idea this grove of mighty redwoods existed so close to Melbourne. And wandering amongst these giants of the forest is a surreal experience. From the Redwoods, it's a short drive to the Yarra Valley, where we stop to do a guided wine tasting at spectacular Killara Estate. It's a fitting end to a great day out. To find out more about this tour, head to the Go West Tours website. And for more tips for amazing things to do in Melbourne, visit topoztours.com.au.